Hello, welcome. I am Astrid, I am Wattle and Wool, and I'm coming to you from Riga, Latvia. I have been here for now a week or just over, and it is beautiful. I'm actually sitting in the window just so I can get some nice light. It is only 4 p.m, so there's quite a bit of light, but it's been a bit overcast the last few days and raining, so I just thought this would probably be the best way to make sure that we get everything as I need it. So hello, I have missed talking to you. It's been over a month, oh my goodness. The last one I did was finishing off the shawl for my boss and packing to come to Europe. And now I'm here and I am having so much fun. It has been wonderful. I will direct you to my non-knitting Instagram, which is at this Astrid Travels. I'll put it down on the screen. If you wanted to follow along with just my journey, like my regular travels, then I am very delayed posting on there if you would like to see it. And if you are just here for the knitting content, then stay here and we will streamline and focus. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff in front of me. There is no order because this is a precarious situation. You are currently balanced on 3 books and a box, and I am in a windowsill. So let's hope that you don't fall, that I can keep going, and let's get started. So, landing in Riga, I landed and I was immediately met by my cousin, which was beautiful. She picked me up with tulips, which are so gorgeous. There are tulips blooming pretty much everywhere, and cherry blossoms, and it's just beautiful. The buildings are very old and very different to what I would find in Australia. Even before that, so I originally flew from Perth to Melbourne. Maybe I should do this at the end. I'll talk to you about my travels at the end. Let's talk about knitting now, and then I'll do the travels at the end if you want to stay involved. Maybe that will be easier. Okay, so in no particular order, let's look at what I've got in front of me. I am working on the Himmel top, Himmel singlet, Himmel something. It is very dusty. I cannot wait to wash and block this because it needs to be washed. But this really is in no particular order, by the way. It is in black yarn, which means that you can't actually see a lot of the detail. But if I try and hold it up, I don't know. There we go. That box pleat with that really beautiful detail. I have been lusting after this and desperate to knit it for months and months and months. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, that is going to be mine. And I just knew I had to do it. I had brought some alright, Astrid in editing, cut this. Okay, so I'm gonna have to talk about my travels as well as the knitting because then it'll make sense, and I'm gonna try and do this in order. So good luck me. One of the first things that I had brought with me overseas that I actually cast on in Melbourne. So I originally I'm from Western Australia in Perth, or Perth in Western Australia, and I flew from Perth to Melbourne, so to the eastern side of the country, and which is a further distance, by the way, from Perth to Melbourne than it is from Riga to London. So from Eastern Europe to West, it is much further than from one side of the country to the other in Australia. I flew to Melbourne and I stayed in a beautiful Airbnb, and I got to hang out with a lot with my cousin, which was absolutely wonderful. I also met some knitting friends, so I got to be there for Chloe of Wool and Works for her birthday, and I met a couple of other people. I met Friday Knits, I met Jamie Creates, and I even managed to pop over to Sydney and see a friend, which was awesome. And then they couldn't entertain me for the second day. They had to go back to work, and they were like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, dude, it's fine. I got friends. So within about half an hour, I'd already planned to meet up with Mel of Three Cats Yarn, and I managed to get over there, and she showed me around Sydney. She showed me around her studio, her house, her cats. Oh, it was just so delightful. So did I say 3 Cats Yarn or Down Under Dyer? Mel of 3 Cats Yarn. So it was just beautiful. I had so much fun. While I was there, I cast on a beanie, and I knew that I loved this yarn. So this is all I have left. If it focuses. Not very well, but you get the idea. This is Garnsur from my beautiful friend Hannah, who lives in Norway. And this is First Frost, I believe. And it is this really gorgeous mix of colours. And I knew that I wanted to make a beanie out of this, but I knew I wanted to make it as luxurious and as just knit as much as possible. I wanted to really play yarn chicken. So I cast on for the Musselburgh hat. If you have started it or if you've ever knit it, you know that it starts from the top and then it increases, and then it basically decreases again like a football, and then you shove one side inside the other, and it is a nice hat. So I wanted it to be really thick with ribbing instead of a dual beanie. So I started it. I have got the increases. You can see where my beginning of the round is, but it's okay. This actually isn't blocked. It's just been worn. And yeah, so I started and I went top down, and then ignore my hair, and then I started with the ribbing. And so the ribbing. And this now is like the longest, awful looking thing. But I fold it once, I fold it twice, and I fold it 3 times, and it is the most luxurious, slouchy, every outfit this works with, because it's white and blue and green and beautiful, and it is just so thick and so luxurious. I'm actually going to Gothenburg in Sweden tomorrow, and it's going to be 16 degrees max. I'm going to be planning on wearing this because I know that I will be warm, and this is just so good. I've been wandering around outside. I'm very comfortable in this temperature. So at the moment here, I think it is 18 to 20 degrees, but overcast. This is like my perfect temperature. So I'm in a short sleeve shirt, and I got tattoos and shorts, and I'm super comfortable, and I'm just wearing a beanie, and I'm like rocking it. Everyone else is in thick jackets or jumpers and like kind of looking cold, and I'm just rocking the Aussie style. So I've been loving what I'm wearing, and this has just been fantastic. So this beanie has been an absolute go-to. I love that it's kind of a little bit too big because it makes it more comfortable. So that is finished object number 1. Anyway, so I took that with me. So I went to Melbourne, Sydney, and then back to Melbourne, and then on to Singapore, which is actually really silly of me because if I'm going to use my fingers, Perth to Melbourne, to Sydney to Melbourne, to Singapore. So I just kind of took the long way, but I was knitting it still in Singapore, and it was so damn hot. Oh my God, I don't know how people survive in Singapore. It is just so hot and so sweaty and so gross, and I don't like sweating for no reason. Like I said, this temperature, 20 degrees and overcast, is my perfect. Don't get me wrong, love the sun. I love the sunshine and all of it, but just being sweaty for no good reason is not an enjoyable moment for me, and let's never do that again, please. So I was dying, and I went to, I was walking around in different places, and I knew that I wanted to get yarn from wherever I could. So I talked about this in the last episode about, I think it was the last episode, about getting souvenirs. I did decide on spoons. So I bought, they are bubble wrapped, which I'm not actually going to open because these are ceramic spoons. But I bought these spoons in Singapore, if you can see them. They are, like ceramic porcelain, and they're hand painted, and they're long spoons, like long handled spoons. And I love little spoons. I have a thing with little spoons. I love them. So I knew that I really wanted to get spoons, but I also thought, hey, I might want to get some yarn. So I got some yarn, Where is the yarn? Okay. This is the confusing bit. And this is where I hope I don't fall. I got 5 skeins of this. There's 4 in the bag. And 1 over here. This is pure wool. And I don't know if... Oh, yes, you can. You can't see it very well because the detail sucks. But you can see the like speckles of colour in here. And I am just super excited by it. So it's pure wool. It kind of looks a little bit like mill ends. Maybe they've like got random mill ends. It was $10 Singaporean, so like $13 Australian. And this is 50 grams, 120 meters per skein, and I got 5. So I'm hoping to do like a vest. Yeah, like a vesty kind of singlety top. With these, I have plans for it. Originally I actually thought these were thicker than they were, but when I started knitting with them, they're a lot thinner. So I'm happy to keep knitting with them, but I do have to size down, which is why this is now back in a ball, because it was knit with, but it just didn't look right. And because there's not, like, I don't know, I'm kind of worried about the sizing. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do it top down. I'm going to do a top down vest and just cut it off whenever I need to. It will be, I'm thinking of doing like a basic stitch. To be honest, meeting Jamie Creates, meeting Jamie really inspired me because she's doing a lot of like thick chunky knits, and so I'm thinking of maybe even a basket weave or something along those lines with these, or just like a really simple 3 rows knit, 1 row knit purl pattern or something like that, just to add a bit of texture, because I think that would just make it really nice. And then what I wanted was for some mohair to be like a shawl collar of this vest, but we'll see. That might not happen, but I'm not going to add the edging on until the end of it when I know what I'm doing. So that is about to be cast on, and I will cast it on when I finish the second thing that I bought. So the second thing that I bought was, where are we? I bought 10 skeins of this. Anything else in here that I need to show you? No. Good. Alright, that's alright. And then you're next. Okay, so I bought 10 skeins of this, which is all in Chinese, and I do not read Mandarin, so it's a something. It is a 30-70 blend. I'm assuming it's 30 merino, 70 merino, 30 nylon or acrylic. That's what it feels like, or wool acrylic blend. And so I bought 10 of these, hoping that I would have enough for the Himmel top, Himmel singlet, Himmel something. This is in one of the Woolfolk magazines, but it's online and I love it. Oh, there's a little man outside and he's just holding a rose and pointing at people with a street cone. Cute. I just love the fact that he's got a rose, but he's like just doing his own thing. That's really cute. Anyway, so this is the Himmel cardigan by Yamagura, I believe. I will again put everything down. Well, everything that I can, not the Chinese, because I don't speak Chinese. So if you can see, it is black, but hopefully you can focus. I'm in like a sing-song mood today, aren't I? There we go. So you can see this kind of like decreases, and then it goes down, and then it goes down, and then it goes down into this box plate. Oh my god, it's amazing. So I have been desperate to knit this since I found it online, and it's going to be like a singlet. I'm getting more and more comfortable wearing singlet tops. So yeah, so I made this. I was obsessed with it. I am just finishing off the I-cord border now. So I don't know when it'll be finished, because after this I've got to go out to dinner with my cousins, and then I might be going out for drinks with a friend, and then tomorrow at 8:40 I fly to Gothenburg in Sweden, and then I'm there for a few days, and I don't really want to bring a bigger project that I will need to sew in ends. I wanted to bring a smaller project that I could start. So I have that one in mind as well, and I will tell you about that in a minute. But yeah, so don't know when this will be finished, but I go to Spain on the 22nd of May, and this feels like perfect Spain weather outfit. So I'm hoping I can wear it then. Have it finished for then. So this is, yeah, the Himmel top, and it is just beautiful. I'm loving it. It is in 2 strands held double of these pieces that I bought, the wool things that I bought. And yeah, I'm just loving it. I'm finding it so nice to knit. It's really relaxing. It's really intuitive. The box plate drove me insane, but then I found a YouTube video and it was all good. So this is what I'm currently working on. I have 4 skeins. Probably will end up being 5 skeins because this is just a new skein. I'm on the This is a new skein. I'm on the iCord bind off now. So probably 5 and a bit skeins left. So I probably have enough to do another one if I really wanted to, or to do something else with it. But yeah, so I'm loving this. This is like a new project for me and it's beautiful. Like throwing everything onto the bed. The other thing I did when I was in Singapore, I went to another yarn store. So I've been trying to just walk. In every city I go to, I've been trying to just walk. And just walk around and explore, experience the world, and just discover what I can. That said, actually, if anyone has any suggestions of like walking apps, I don't necessarily want to log my steps as in do it out of like health reasons. It's more just like I like knowing how much I've walked. If there is anything that can convert steps to kilometers, that would be really helpful because that's what I'm not having at the moment. But I also love to gamify things. So I've found one app and it is for children. It is, it's like Pokemon Go and I love it. It is called Pikmin Bloom and Pikmin Bloom. And basically you walk around and every like steps that you do generates generates energy and it counts your steps. And if you take pictures that day, it will post up like memories, like pictures of stuff that you've done so you can remember what you've done. And then there's like little challenges and games in it. And I just, yeah, if I can gamify health, I'm all in. If I have to do health because I have to be healthy, not into it. But if I can do it because there's like a weird game that I can, I don't know, build a village, yes. So more village building games, please. Anyway, so I was walking around Singapore and I went to this one store just before I went to that store to be able to get all that stuff. And I went to this other store and it was quite like an upper class store and I was a bit nervous because that's like, I'm not an upper class person. I can be if I really, really, really try, but I don't like to. I like to just be me and be chill and be silly and be funny and sing and whatever. And so, yeah, it was just like I walked in and she was like, please take off your shoes. And I was like, yeah, that's no worries. Like, that's fine. It's a Singaporean custom. And so then I was like walking around, but I don't speak Mandarin and she spoke English, but not very well. So we're kind of like awkwardly trying to translate to each other. And yeah, it was just, it was not bad. It just wasn't my best experience. Anyway, so I walked in and I was looking around and there was like no prices. And you know it's expensive when they don't show you prices. It's like a Prada store. Like they're not going to have prices on like a Prada bag. You just have to assume it's going to be $4,000 and then if it's cheaper, you get excited. Clearly I don't shop at Prada, but you get the idea. So I was walking around and I was like terrified that everything was so expensive and I didn't know what to do. And then I picked out some really nice stuff and then was like, oh yeah, I'll buy these. And she told me the price and I was like, no, I'm not buying those. Thank you. So I put them all back, but I asked her if there was any traditional or like any locally made Singaporean products because that is something that, again, I'm really passionate about. I am really passionate about is locally made products. And she said yes, that there are these, this brand. So it's, I don't know, JJ Yarns or Smiley Face Yarns. And this is 100% baby alpaca yarn and it's in white dove and some pink thing. But the label's on the floor and I can't be bothered getting it. Oh, I just threw the other one on the floor. Oh, now I've got to get it. All right, give me a sec. Okay, so here's both of them. So I've got White Dove and Dusty Rose. They are 50 grams, 100 meters. 100% alpaca. The yarn is made in Peru, but apparently it was like a Singaporean brand. Jojo yarns. So I thought to myself, what would I like to make? I love beanies. I love beanies on the go. I find them really easy to make. And I just started doing the ribbing. So I started doing the ribbing of this white, and then I had maybe like this much left, a little bit more. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to make another one, and am I gonna ruin it by losing all this yarn? And so I stopped. Normally I like a good 4-inch brim. This is only 3. But I'm glad I stopped it where I did actually. So then I did stockinette for the next 3 inches, and I was really inspired by a Latvian symbol. I'll see if I can put it up on the screen actually, but it's from a place called Koknes. And it was like, there was ruins, it was like a castle. It was really beautiful in Latvia when we went to Koknes, but it's on the way back to Riga from Madona. Madonna. I keep getting told off for saying it wrong because it's spelt Madonna, or Madonna, I guess, and it's Madonna. So anyway, some fun language for you. So I started knitting, and I was really inspired by this pattern and the color work. To be honest, it went in a different direction by the time I started knitting it, but that's okay. I think that's the point of inspiration, that it should be directionless, or that like you go in your own way. And then I kind of got to the top and was like, oh, I should start decreasing because I don't have a lot of yarn left. This is all I have. But I feel like I started decreasing too soon, and it impacts with the color work. So I'm not the biggest fan of the increases. I'm wondering if I want to undo it and just add on like another maybe inch after the color work. But this is where it sits. So yeah, I do think maybe another inch after the color work of that pink would be nice, but it's super comfortable. Again, I probably won't fix this for a little bit. I'll just let it sit and see what happens, because of all the plane travels, blah blah blah. And I just don't have time, and I haven't woven in any of the ends, so they're all flopping around in there. But this is, yeah, so this is another beanie. I'm probably going to call it Koknes. So Kokness. And yeah, I always design beanie patterns for free. That's just like a standard for me. And so yeah, I really love this pattern, and I will definitely be putting it out soon. It was just something really simple, and I was working on it on the plane and getting lots of weird looks from the Lithuanian men, because I started making this. I started making it in Latvia, but I really was working on it in Lithuania. And so yeah, I was getting all these weird looks by Lithuanian men, and then there was like these lovely Turkish Muslim women, and they could not speak a word of, I don't think they could speak Lithuanian, but they couldn't speak English at all. And I clearly don't speak Turkish, and so they were just like, and I was like, thank you. It was so cool. So I had so much fun. Like, man, knitting, handcrafts broadens everything, and it just makes everyone involved feel good, and you don't even need to speak the language, you just need to speak yarn, and everyone's good with it. So this is my semi-finished product. I really do want to finish this and fix it. Yeah, it's kind of annoying me now. Every time I look at it more, it just annoys me more, so I will have to fix it because I can't leave it like this. And so that was, yeah, Singapore. I got these spoons. Then I went to Frankfurt in Germany. Did I buy yarn in Germany? I don't think I did. I think I wanted to, but everything was closed on the day that I could have. So I got this spoon, and it's got their little Frankfurt tower thingy. Come on. Anyway, it's got like the little chapels in Frankfurt, the buildings. Then I went to Latvia, obviously where I am, and I got a Latvian spoon. And what I like most about it is, if you can see, it's like embossed. So it's got these really cool designs on the spoon, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. And then, as I just said, I went to Lithuania and I got a big spoon. And so I went to a place called Klaipėda, And something that's very traditional in Baltic states or Baltic countries, I keep saying states, Baltic countries, is the amber. So it's a long spoon, which I like, but the come on, focus. Hello. All right, hold on. Not very well. This is a spoon, and it has a like a nautical shipping wheel on it, and some amber stuck onto it with glue by the looks of it. It says it's got a certificate of authenticity, but I bought it from a street market, so let's not believe that. But yeah, so now I have 4 spoons. 4 spoons, 4 countries. Pretty proud of myself, that's awesome. And when I was in, where did I go? No, before I went anywhere, when I was still in Riga. Okay, when I was still in Riga, I cast on a cardigan. So I was in Riga, and then I went to Klaipėda in Lithuania, and now I'm back. So this cardigan is made out of old alpaca wool, maybe camel, I think. I don't know, there's a whole lot of blend in it. Do I have the wool band actually? I should. Yes. By Ordine Wools Bloom by Knit Crate. And it is 80% alpaca, 10% silk, 10% camel. That's pretty good. It's a DK weight, 210 meters over 100 grams. And I am making a cardigan in it. I really wanted a nice long cardigan because the nights do still get a bit cold. I'm knitting it flat, and it's color work, which is a bit annoying, but that's okay. It's just a new skill. So I would not recommend this to a beginner, not at all. But to someone who does want to extend themselves, it's actually really fun. So I've got these symbols here. This means like fate. So the pine cone, it has a lot to do with fate, which I love. Then in the middle, so on the back, it looks like a giant tangled mess. But I am going with a, it's called an Alström Cox. They like the word cock a lot. Just, Jesus, sorry. Woo! All right, good morning all. Anyway, this is called an Alström Cox, and it is like a tree, but it's like the tree of fate, kind of like the Norse tree or pagan tree. I am blindly copying it from a image that I got off Google, I think. So it could be interesting, but so far it's been really fun. One thing I've really enjoyed about myself and my growth as a knitter is that I can now feel confident looking at an image and repeating it on knitting, and that I don't need to necessarily follow a pre-charted out pattern, that I can just look at something that is geometric and I can see how it's going to fit on the knitting. Yeah, so I'm just really enjoying that. I'm saying I'm sorry. But I'm really enjoying that at the moment this is like a new skill for me, that I can really push myself and I can design in a way that feels intuitive and feels natural without needing it to be written down. So it feels like it's the next step in my design element. So that is something that I'm working on. Again, it's going to take me ages because flying, but I'm trying to work on it when I'm in Latvia and when I feel cold, because it's so warm. It's actually really nice already. So that is that one. And then the last bit, well, kind of. Actually, not the last bit at all. I don't know why I said that. More acquisitions. I went to Hobby Wool, which is a famous Latvian shop, and they do kits, they do books of like how to knit like a Latvian, and I bought myself some yarn, some wool. So this is 190 grams and this one is 210 grams. They are very thick wool, and there's still, if you can see, there's still like vegetable matter in there. They are very roughly spun, but that's okay. What I'm wanting to do with these is make them into slippers. So I would love to create these. Oh, there we go. I'd like to, put these into slippers, but do like the felted slippers. So make them really big and then felt them down. We have a dryer and a washer here. Something that I've actually never tried before, so I'm willing to try it on me first. If I hate them, we'll fly with it. But I just thought this would be a really nice color combination. And there is a pattern, I cannot remember for the life of me what it is called, but basically it's like there's like a starflake motif, and I would love to do that. I would love, if I can, to make these for my whole family, but that's a massive ambitious goal, and I'm too lazy and selfish to do that. And also I hate knitting things more than once, so I don't know, we will see. We'll see if I even get there. So that's a Latvian acquisition. Lithuanian acquisition. Alright, so I went to Lithuania, and I found a Google Maps yarn stores, and I found one that looked, I couldn't tell if it was a yarn store or not. So I walked in and it was a fabric store. And I love a good fabric store, but it wasn't what I wanted. But the lady was so kind and so nice to me that I kind of felt like I wanted to buy something. Not obligated, because I don't buy out of obligation, but I kind of felt, like I wanted to buy something to remember just how sweet she was and how lovely it was. I think it was her, she did not speak a lick of English, not one bit. At the end of it, she said bye, and was really proud of herself, which was adorable. So, and by the way, thank you in Lithuania's acho, which I kept saying achu. It's not achu, it's not a sneeze, it's acho. So, I found these ribbons, and they are velvet ribbons, and I love them. I just love them. So I kind of want them to be like even maybe a hair ribbon or something. And I just put it in my hair and I just wear like that because I just think they're so pretty. So this is like my new memory of kindness in Lithuania. Again, people are so nice, and you don't even need to speak their language. Like, that's probably one thing I'm really learning at the moment, is just how kind people can be to strangers. But I did find a Lithuanian knitting store, and I walked in and I had no idea what I was looking for, and it was really cute. So I walked in and I found these two skeins. These were underneath the counter. They were not cheap, but they are 100% cashmere, 25 grams, 170 meters. So they are so soft and so delightful. And honestly, I'm thinking, again, another beanie. Lithuanian designs have a similar but different aspect to the Latvian ones. And it's more like they were more squares than these are triangles. So I'm kind of tempted to use this as a mock-up, do this again, but use the Lithuanian designs with these two. And so again, it would be light on the bottom, dark on the top. And this would be like Latvia, then Lithuania. So that's what I'm hoping to try, because I think that would be really beautiful and warm again. So maybe I will take these to Gothenburg with me. The other one that I was thinking about doing is, actually there's two, but anyway, one of the other ones I was thinking about doing is this one. And sorry for the rustling. I bought 3 of this, which is like this beautiful khaki versus emerald green. I can't decide which one it is, and it's beautiful. And this is 60% cotton, 40% viscose, mercerized cotton, color 67 by Katja, and it's Katja yarn, and I just think it is beautiful. And then I also got the cream one, which is color 28, and yeah, I just think these would be lovely. So I kind of have an idea, and I don't know how it's going to work out, so I don't really want to talk about it just yet because it might turn out trash, but I have an idea, so I'm going to try and give it a go and see how we go. Yeah, kind of almost inspired by the Himmel cardigan. Yeah, like definitely inspired by it in the way that the shaping goes. I have an idea for what I want to do. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. So this is the other design that I wanted to start. So now I've got two 2 projects for on the plane, which is exciting. And lastly, the other project I really wanted to start, if you remember, I talked about the Noose concept yarn. This is camel, and I also have some yak. And I wanted this to be a colourwork jumper using Latvian designs. I love Latvian designs, in case you can't tell. And I'm actually planning on getting a whole bunch of them tattooed down my spine and ending with an ostrich cox between my shoulder blades. So for me, I like tattoos that mean something. I did say I got new tattoos. So this is, there's a little whale there with wattle, obviously, and Geraldton wax. Geraldton wax is Geraldton is about 3 hours away from Perth, maybe 2 hours. And it's something that's really important to me. 3 hours, maybe 4. Anyway, it's a while away. It's probably 3 hours away I drive. And then on this side I've got a little wombat. And then I have eucalyptus and banksia, which are again Aussie flowers. So for me, tattoos are meaningful and tattoos have a lot of purpose for me. So I wanted something that would be meaningful. But I also wanted to put it in a jumper. So my first ever jumper I designed a while in Latvia, and 5 years ago now, and it's called Auseklis. And it has Latvian designs, Latvian symbols, and it means a lot about women's femininity and power. And I really, really, really wanted to do another one while I am here. I thought that was really important. And so this is the yarn that I was hoping to do it in, or expecting to do it in. I have plenty of it, and I will be able to get a beautiful yoked jumper out of it, circular knit. And I'm waiting on my dad to send pictures of my grandmother's house, because she has like acorn motif that is etched into her windows. So I wanted to honor her and put some of those into the jumper. And also there's a sign called Saule, which is the sun. And so my first one was like Auseklis, which is the star. My second one is Saule, which is the sun. And I thought that would be really important. So my question to you is, when you are knitting a yoked sweater, like a top-down circular colourwork sweater, it'll probably start about here. It'll end up being like a funnel turtleneck that I'll add on afterwards, because otherwise you stretch out the shape. And so it's probably going to start here and then grow down, obviously. Do you like all over colourwork design? So pretty much like from the minute you start, you got a couple of rounds of setup and then you go into it? Or do you prefer just like a solid band of colourwork? I've seen both. I love both. I don't know which one I like more. So I thought I would put it to you, because I don't design in isolation. I definitely design with people. So let me know what you would like. I feel like that's been kind of like it for my main rambles and stories. Like I said, I've got Gothenburg tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. And I'm very excited. All the buildings here are beautiful. All the people here are beautiful. It's been an experience of definitely getting to know myself very well and exploring myself, exploring my own mind, being confident to walk out and just do my own thing, and comfortable in the silence that comes with that. So there's been a lot of like introspection that's been happening. I think one main thing that I've really come to terms with, or that I've really been like grappling with lately, is the the concept of like delayed happiness. I already miss home, and not in a homesick, I want to go back way, but in a, I love my life. I love my friends, my family, my people, my cat. I love Perth. Every time anyone asks me where I'm from, I'm like, I'm from Perth. And then I just start rambling off good things about Perth. Like, oh man, I love my home. I miss my kids so much. I miss my babies. I miss my students. Again, people ask me what I do, and I probably bore them for like 3 hours telling them about all my kids and the wonderfulness that I get up to with them and how insane my students are. Please behave, guys. But yeah, I love my life, and I think it's made me really happy to realize how much I love my life. And yeah, I read something the other day, and it was like, all right. It was talking about like the concept of you don't know what you've got until it's gone, and it's like, no, you do know what you've got, but you realize what you would do for it when it's gone. So when it goes, you realize how much you would kill for it, or how much you would miss it, or how much you want it back. But when you've got it, thanks. When you've got it, you still love it. You still have it. And I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like I'm realizing how great my life is and how much I love what I've got. Yes, okay, fair enough, I'm doing it while away, but it's still a really good realization. So there's been a lot of introspection that's been happening, and just realizing as well that, don't get me wrong, I am so happy to be doing what I'm doing. I am so proud of myself. This is something that I never thought I could do, let alone would do. And even when I was planning for it, it felt like a pipe dream. It felt like, saving for, I don't know, to go to the moon. And now I'm on the moon. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. And so I'm just so, proud of myself is probably the best description I can give you of how I'm feeling. But I also know that I'm missing my home. I'm missing my people. I'm missing my friends. Oh my God, I just want to hug my friends. And I do think that my forever home is back in Australia. I really do. I think this is kind of showing me more and more that it is. I hope the light isn't really bad, by the way. Anyway. So this concept of like delayed happiness, where I know I'm so happy right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm thrilled to pieces. I love what I'm doing. I love my explorations. I love all of this. I love buying spoons and new yarn. Yes. I love finding new ways to eat, and okay, the search for coffee is ongoing. There's still nowhere that does good coffee, but we're finding it. We're exploring it. But I just know that I will be so happy when I come home. That it's almost like it's a delayed happiness. I'm happy now, but it's almost like I'm saving up my happiness. Like I know when I get home, I'm just going to be so happy, so happy. And it almost makes me happy now, knowing how happy I'm going to be in the future. Happy a lot. Because it's like, I'm enjoying the process, but I know how great it's going to be when I come home. I don't know if that's something that is often talked about or often felt or explained, and I wonder if anyone else feels this way. I was talking with one of my really good friends back in Perth, and she's actually moved from Melbourne, and I was trying to explain this concept, and delayed happiness is the best way I can put it, or deferred happiness, I guess. And she was like, yeah, I totally understand that, because it really is like, I know where my life is going to be, and while I'm so enjoying the journey, the destination I'm so thrilled for. I'm so excited to get to that destination. Anyway, long rambling rants. Anything else you want to know? Talk to me. What would you like to see? What would you like me to show you? Like I said, follow me on this Astrid Travels on Instagram if you would like to see more of the day-to-day stuff. I've been posting up reels. Oh, I'm on TikTok if you want to see my TikTok. Again, this Astrid Travels. If you want to see all that kind of stuff, feel free. Yeah, let me know. It's been so lovely to sit in a windowsill and sit in the sunlight and talk with you. Thank you for being part of my community and making my life so great.